There's no need to agree, but there is a need to be civil.
What you're talking about are standards.
Mm-hmm.
I think what you're talking about is some standards of emotional intelligence, or at least standards for striving. Because if we say like, oh, there's standards of physical presence, and what does that mean?
No.
Does that mean everyone has to have like 8-pack abs and be perfectly, and then you have older people trying to reverse their age and ending up looking like totally
Martian.
artificial, and it can go too far, right? But I think having standards of striving, like every kid does physical education, because even if you're not going to be a great athlete, it's good to develop a relationship to your body and take care of it. Every kid should do emotional intelligence training. Even if you're not going to become Mark Brackett, you can learn to regulate better than your parents. And if you're rewarded, we love rewards, right? We're obsessed with if the promotions and the money and the status, let's face it, people care about that stuff, comes from being healthier physically and emotionally. Who wouldn't want that?
I agree. And it goes back again. I think I'm obsessive about this, like being a scientist about yourself. You said this earlier, you, based on whatever, we won't have to go into this right now, but like working out is your big thing. But then you realize, like, I need a little break. I can take a break. It's okay. It's okay to take a day off. I can go walking on the beach or whatever it is. But that's the reflection process. That's you having that metacognitive ability to say, let me evaluate my life right now. Like, I can have a day like without the gym. It's going to be good. I can go have some fun with some friends. I'm the same way. All of this work that we do is about that level of reflection. I have to ask myself when I don't do my workout, is this an excuse? Like, what's really am I really tired, or am I just like lazy right now? And that's the work. I was thinking about this as we were talking, that it's a process. And, I came up with this process for myself as I was, writing, which with the workouts. In the beginning, you look in the mirror. And by the way, I took photos of myself every month religiously. And the proof is in the photos. And then sometimes I look at it, I'm like, wow, Mark, you really did a good job. Because I really got out of shape and I was not happy with myself. I was used to being an athlete as a martial artist. And now I have 4 years of photos, front, side, back, every month. And you look at the day one and you look at today and it's a completely different human being. I have to look at that once in a while because I still have weird issues, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, and I'm like, wait, the picture tells the truth. But the phases of that are important. The first phase is like, can I get through this? I can't do 4 workouts, go from 3,500 calories a day down to 1,800 calories a day. There's no way to do all that. Just like you can't take every strategy in my book and be obsessive about it. Like, I'm going to breathe and I'm going to walk. No, I'm going to sleep. No, I'm going to talk positively. No, I'm going to reach out. You'll go nuts. It's a process. This is life's work. Like, the good news, you got your whole life to work on it because you're going to need it forever. So that first phase is kind of just the learning phase. Like, what's the little steps I can take? The second phase is you start seeing a little bit of changes. Oh, my life's a little bit better. I feel a little better. I'm sleeping better. My relationships are better. I'm more positive. Even during that phase of my workouts, I went through this whole phase of negativity because I'm like, Mark, you're married for 30 years. You're 56 years old. Who gives a shit about your body? And I would do deadlifts. I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous. I'm deadlifts at 55 years old. And I would catch myself every time. And I'd be like, Mark, this is what you do. You are a self-saboteur right now. You got to pause and you got to, where is this coming from? And how are you going to get that self-saboteur self out of here? The best version of you is not someone who does just 2 sets of those deadlifts. You do all 4. But it was so much work, I can't tell you. But the beauty of all that, of working through the discomfort, is that identity phase. Because now it's not an option. Mm-hmm. And so if you just do it and it becomes part of your identity, you don't have those struggles anymore.
I love it. And the parallel between physical fitness and emotional intelligence is not something I predicted before this conversation, but I love it. And I'm certain that it's resonating with people because it's just, physical stuff is just so tangible.
Yeah.
It's so concrete. And look, I just want to thank you for making the emotional intelligence piece so concrete and for laying out these steps. We'll obviously provide links to your books.
Thank you. I want to play a game with you for a minute, though.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay.
Because one of my former colleagues and I got together a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, and we decided, like, people are so disconnected. So we took all the contents of my books and we made a game. So you actually, when you have your party, it's called the Point of Connection. And so these are random cards.
And it doesn't involve an app or a Wi-Fi connection.
No, you got to be with people.
Awesome.
So there's your first card.
What's the best advice a mentor ever gave you, and how has it shaped the way you live or work? 2 pieces, briefly. The Mike Mentzer, one of the great trainers, gave me the advice to do low volume, high intensity resistance training. Each body part once a week, and train only 3 times per week, maybe 4, never more than 75 minutes, but to really learn to enjoy training extremely hard. And I followed that advice for 30 plus years, and I look forward to workouts. So I don't work out every day. Amazing advice. And then the other advice, which is separate from fitness, comes from a guy named Bob Knight, who is a neurologist at UC Berkeley, who said, figure out how much work you can do each week consistently, and then find some way to reset yourself each week that is not destructive. And I said, what's yours? And he said, fishing. And I was like, okay, I've done a lot of fishing because my mom's side, all the men went fishing, and I like it, decent fisherman, but I thought, what is that for me? For me, it's hiking. So for someone else, it could be something else. But I taught my lab that, and I would teach a career development course where I would pass that on at Cold Spring Harbor during the summer, which is kind of geek summer camp. And I said, that doesn't mean drinking, but maybe 1 or 2 drinks. Someone said, okay, fine. But as long as it's non-destructive, find a way to reset every week and just keep coming back. And so both of those things were about consistency and intensity. So 2 mentors.
All right, last one, because I think this one is more relevant to our specific conversation.
I thought you were going to answer a question. Right. What's one emotion you've been carrying a lot lately that you'd like to experience less often? Oh, man.
Sorry.
What might help soften it? All right. I don't know the name of this emotion. Maybe you can help me. I'll try and describe it briefly. Lately, I've been having these moments of feeling so much love and affection for someone, and it like opens, and then I go, and then it shuts. But it's not opening and shutting because of them. I'm like, and I know this feeling because in a different version of it, I'm about to get a new puppy. He's already picked out. He's already, he's waiting. And I know the difference between what I just described and being like, and I just let it rip with the dog. 2 different things. Person, dog, I acknowledge there's a fundamental difference, but I feel this sort of like I shut it down. So what is that emotion of closing down? I guess like shutting off to love. Is that an emotion? Or did I probably just revealed way more than
Well, love is a feeling, obviously. And, but I think, we're going to go back to that opening a little bit about that fear and vulnerability, like just allowing yourself to be with. There's something that's getting in the way there.
So what might help soften it? Time.
Yeah, just be with it. Let it ride.
Man, thank you for that opportunity. Thank you. I actually really appreciate the opportunity. I hadn't thought about that until I read this. Are you willing to answer one?
Yeah, sure.
You're the guest. I feel like you should speak last. I spoke a lot today.
All right.
I can pick one or you can pick one. How's the game work?
You basically, you can go in circles and everybody shares and you look for the point of connection. So it's get to know people at a party, in the workplace. Who is one of your heroes and what does that reveal about what you value? Well, as you know from our prior conversation, the hero in my life was my Uncle Marvin because he helped me get through my very traumatic experiences as a kid. And what I value about him now that I think about it more was that nothing I could say could startle him. Nothing I could say would make him run away. He was just fully present and a listener and a learner and provided steady support.
Well, clearly you've internalized that. Mark, thank you so much for coming back. Your work is evolving so fast and you're doing such good in the world. And do come back again. I feel like you're clearly on the move.
There you go.
And doing amazing things. And again, I'll put links to your book and your books, plural, and other work. But just want to say thank you as a co-public educator and as somebody who's really doing important work in the world. Thank you. You're a really good man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you for joining me for today's discussion with Dr. Mark Brackett. To learn more about his work and to find links to his books, please see the links in the show note captions. If you're learning from and or enjoying this podcast, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's a terrific zero-cost way to support us. In addition, please follow the podcast by clicking the follow button on both Spotify and Apple. And on both Spotify and Apple, you can leave us up to a 5-star review. And you can now leave us comments at both Spotify and Apple. Please also check out the sponsors mentioned at the beginning and throughout today's episode. That's the best way to support this podcast. If you have questions for me or comments about the podcast, or guests or topics that you'd like me to consider for the Huberman Lab podcast, please put those in the comment section on YouTube. I do read all the comments. For those of you that haven't heard, I have a new book coming out. It's my very first book. It's entitled Protocols, an Operating Manual for the Human Body. This is a book that I've been working on for more than 5 years, and that's based on more than 30 years of research and experience. And it covers protocols for everything from sleep to exercise to stress control, protocols related to focus and motivation. And of course, I provide the scientific substantiation for the protocols that are included. The book is now available by pre-sale at protocolsbook.com. There you can find links to various vendors. You can pick the one that you like best. Again, the book is called Protocols, an Operating Manual for the Human Body. And if you're not already following me on social media, I am Huberman Lab on all social media platforms. So that's Instagram, X, Threads, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And on all those platforms, I discuss science and science-related tools, some of which overlaps with the content of the Huberman Lab podcast, but much of which is distinct from the information on the Huberman Lab podcast. Again, it's Huberman Lab on all social media platforms. And if you haven't already subscribed to our Neural Network newsletter, the Neural Network newsletter is a zero-cost monthly newsletter that includes podcast summaries as well as what we call protocols in the form of 1 to 3 page PDFs that cover everything from how to optimize your sleep, how to optimize dopamine, deliberate cold exposure. We have a foundational fitness protocol that covers cardiovascular training and resistance training. All of that is available completely zero cost. You simply go to hubermanlab.com, go to the menu tab in the top right corner, scroll down to newsletter, and enter your email. And I should emphasize that we do not share your email with anybody. Thank you once again for joining me for today's discussion with Dr. Mark Brackett. And last, but certainly not least, thank you for your interest in science.